Welcome to an AI experiment. Today, we asked AI a simple question. Create a funny text prompt for an image of a woman representing each of the 50 US states. This AI experiment explores AI creativity. The results showcase AI's imaginative take on regional humor and cultural quirks through visual concepts. Let's explore what AI imagines about women across America. Alabama, a woman with a mullet, holding a beer, has a shocked look on her face. Alaska, a female native Indian smiling, holding a salmon fish, feeding an angry bear. Arizona, holding a cactus, she stands in a desert landscape, wearing a bow-low tie and weathered jean jacket. Arkansas, a female Walmart greeter standing in a store with buck teeth. California, surfer girl style with big sunglasses and a beach towel, she's holding an iPhone texting. A large wave is behind her about to crash. She is shocked. Colorado, wearing ski gear and a beanie, she's awkwardly skiing down a mountain while holding a cup of coffee and looking scared. Connecticut, in colonial-era clothing, she holds a Yale University book in one hand and a lobster roll in the other. Delaware, dressed as a colonial tavern keeper, she holds up a mug of beer, laughing and standing next to a "First State" sign. Florida, wearing a flamingo floatee, sunglasses, and sandals, she's surrounded by alligators, a sign reading, "Welcome to Florida." Georgia, dressed like Scarlett O'Hara, she holds a massive peach while a crowd of Southern belles gossip around her. Hawaii, wearing a grass skirt, lei, and oversized flower in her hair, she's surfing with a pineapple on her head. Shark fins are in the water. Idaho, dressed like a giant potato with a spud crown, she's holding a sack of fries and laughing while sitting on a farm tractor. Illinois, holding a deep dish slice of pizza with a fake mustache, she's standing in front of the Chicago skyline with a gusty, windy look. Indiana, wearing a racing helmet and checkered flag, she's sitting in a soapbox car with Indy 500 on the side racing at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Iowa, in full farm gear with a pitchfork, she's holding an oversized corn cob and waving from a cornfield. Kansas, an old woman dressed as Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, holding a baby pig and looking surprised as a tornado whirls behind her. Kentucky, in a big Kentucky Derby hat and dress, holding a mint julep with a look of surprise as a horse laughs. Louisiana, wearing Mardi Gras beads and a feathered mask, she's dancing in a street parade with a gumbo pot in one hand. Maine, bundled up in a fisherman's coat with a big lobster clasped onto her boot, she's holding a map and looking lost. Maryland, sitting in a restaurant holding an Old Bay seasoning can in hand, she's playfully snapping her crab claws. Massachusetts, in colonial-era attire, she's holding a Boston cream pie and wearing Red Sox gear, standing next to a Harvard sign. Michigan, wearing a midden hat, a fishing pole, she's on a boat in the Great Lakes near shore, reeling in a large, serpent-like creature. Minnesota, wearing ice skates and a Viking helmet, she's holding a giant walleye fish and standing on a frozen lake. Mississippi, dressed like a riverboat captain, she is holding a fishing net filled with catfish while standing on a paddleboat. Missouri, wearing overalls and a St. Louis arch hat, she's holding a barbecue rib in one hand and a map of Route 66. Montana, wearing a cowboy hat and boots, she's riding a bucking buffalo with a lasso in one hand. Nebraska, wearing corn husk overalls and a Go Big Red hat, she's cheering next to a giant cornhusker football. Nevada, wearing a showgirl costume with feathers, she's standing at a slot machine in Las Vegas with a big winning smile. New Hampshire, in autumn flannel and boots, she's picking apples with a giant maple syrup bottle, surrounded by fall leaves. New Jersey, dressed like a stereotypical Jersey girl with big hair and leopard print, she's holding a diner menu and a slice of pizza. New Mexico, wearing a cactus print poncho, she's holding a green chili and dancing in front of a colorful adobe building. New York, holding a giant coffee cup, wearing an "I Heart New York" t-shirt, she's hailing a yellow taxi with an exaggerated expression. North Carolina, wearing a NASCAR jumpsuit and a "Sweet Tea Queen" sash, she's sitting on a porch with a bowl of grits. North Dakota, bundled up in winter gear with an ice fishing rod. She's sitting by a hole in the ice, holding a map of Canada. Ohio, in a Buckeye costume, holding a football and looking enthusiastic, she's surrounded by a cheering crowd in a stadium. Oklahoma, wearing cowboy boots and a 10-gallon hat, she sees a tornado in the distance, a look of surprise. Oregon, in a raincoat and holding a cup of artisanal coffee, she's standing in front of a giant fir tree with a hipster bike. Pennsylvania, wearing an Amish bonnet and holding a Philly cheesesteak, she's posing next to the Liberty Bell. Rhode Island, a woman, dressed as a lobster, gets her claws stuck in a clam shack door as locals laugh, set by a seaside with a humorous vibe. South Carolina, in a southern dress, she's holding a sweet tea while palmetto tree fronds wave in the breeze around her. South Dakota, dressed as a Mount Rushmore tourist, wearing a buffalo hat, she's holding a camera and looking awestruck. Tennessee, wearing a rhinestone-studded country singer outfit with a guitar, she's singing at the Grand Ole Opry stage. Texas, she is holding a Lone Star beer, wearing a ball cap and overalls, and standing in front of an old Ford truck. Utah, dressed like a skier in bright snow gear, she's holding a selfie stick and posing in front of red rock cliffs. Vermont, wearing a flannel shirt and holding a jug of maple syrup, she's surrounded by colorful fall foliage with a moose nearby. Virginia, wearing a colonial dress with a tricorn hat, she's holding a Civil War book and a mug of hot apple cider. Washington, wearing a rain jacket with a coffee mug, she's standing near the Space Needle with a rain or shine look. West Virginia, wearing a mining helmet with a pickaxe, she's holding a moonshine jug while standing in the mountains. Wisconsin, wearing a giant cheese wedge hat, holding a bratwurst, and smiling as she stands in a snow-covered dairy farm. Wyoming, in a cowgirl outfit, she's lassoing a bison while standing near the Rocky Mountains with a confident smile.